It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I am Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trendholm and Jerry Caldwell. It is the end of the week for us inside the Treehouse. It's been a fun one, and because we've had so much content this week and not enough time to get to all of it, we're going to blow it all out today as much as we possibly can. We saved any discussion of the Avengers Doomsday trailer to today so we can include you, Jerry. Before we get to that, we also might have coming up, if we can get to all of it, the body wash heist of the century, the finger seen round the world, and Gen Z wants our hand-me-downs. So time permitting, we will get to all that glorious stuff today inside the Treehouse. Speaking of which, if you love what you hear here today, do us a favor, hit that share button from your favorite listening platform, send it to a friend, text it to a buddy, post it on social media, and together we can grow the Treehouse Show. Again, let me reemphasize that. Let's grow the Treehouse Show, and we need your help to do it.
Please.
And thank you. All right, we have waited all week to talk about the Avengers Doomsday trailer, which I bathed in all week. I am a huge movie trailer dork. I love a good movie trailer, and the older I get, I have realized why. Because they are full of hope and possibilities and no disappointment. It is rare I've been disappointed by a trailer. There have been numerous trailers, though, that I have loved and then been completely annihilated, disappointed by the movie itself. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I can ever recall a trailer letting me down.
No, that's fair. I mean, there are a lot of times you look at a trailer and you go, man, I hope that's not just the best parts of the movie.
Right. Have I seen the movie now?
Yeah. And sometimes if you watch enough trailers, I believe that you can tell. If the trailer is long enough and has enough good stuff in it, then you probably just watched all the good parts in the movie. If there's a bunch of mystery and clue type things or possible things that could go a couple different ways, and they can be tricky, so it's hard. But yeah, sometimes you can see the movie in the trailer. Like when I went to go see the Odyssey the other day, for some reason, they included a trailer for some new Jason Statham movie. I don't need to see the movie. I saw the 2.5-minute trailer. It looked great. I enjoyed it. 90% on Rotten Tomatoes for me. I don't need to see the movie.
Is that the new one with him? I think it's Hannah Waddington in it.
Yes.
Because that's actually, from what I've read, is supposed to be good.
It was. It was great. But I am not going to spend $15, $20, $30 in the movie theater for that. I'll happily watch that on my phone or tablet at the gym.
I enjoy a Jason Statham movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's
one of my
good action
too.
Star.
Yeah.
They're light. I mean, you know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, they're a little campy usually, but I'm good with his movies. Is it something I'm going to go see in a theater? Probably not.
Exactly. I love almost every movie I've seen Jason Statham in. And you're right. I know exactly what I'm getting when, especially if it's a movie starring Jason Statham and the title is anything reminiscent of a job occupation, I will happily watch it on the elliptical at the gym. But I'm probably not going to spend $40 at the movie theater for it.
My biggest disappointment of a Jason Statham movie was The Beekeeper. And it wasn't because of him, and it wasn't because of the story. It was fucking Jeremy Irons. That was one of the worst performances. He was so out of place in that movie.
Did he just mail it in or something? Or was he too over the top?
Have you not seen it?
I have not seen that one yet.
He's too over the top. He is too qualified to be in a Jason Statham movie.
I would agree with that. There's some actors you're just like, bro, no, come on now.
His portrayal of the evil, the kind of because he wasn't the main evil person. He was an accessory kind of, but it was almost Austin Powers-ish.
Oh man, yeah. And if it had been Austin Powers, you'd have been like, "Oh yeah, nice, I love
Yeah,
that."
exactly.
You know, you can lampoon yourself, kind of a deal. But yeah, it's really disappointing when you see people in a movie and you're like, "Ooh, look who's in this movie," and then you see the movie and go like, "Oh, Sir Anthony Hopkins, why'd you take this?"
Yeah. Now I forget. Did you see the new Naked Gun?
I have not seen that yet. Thank you for reminding me.
Because that's a trailer where I said all the good parts of that movie are in that trailer. And from everything I read, I was 100% correct.
Oh, so you haven't seen it yet either?
I have no desire to see it.
Okay, I need to see it. I feel the need to see it because it's Seth MacFarlane, Liam Neeson, and so I am a curious soul, and I want to see it. All right. So speaking of curious souls and movie trailers, the Avengers Doomsday trailer dropped earlier this week, and in one day, it hit 503 million views. 503 million views in one day for the Avengers Doomsday trailer, which is actually second. It's the second biggest launch in history after Spider-Man Brand New Day. So Marvel's about to have a banner year. I think we all knew that already, but now we're getting concrete evidence. Now, again, that was just the first day. Before we hit record on this episode, I tried looking to see how many views the Avengers Doomsday trailer had, and I can't count it because there's so many different accounts that have them. One might have 50 million views, another one might have 20. So I think they're just kind of adding them all up. Obviously, it's huge, and this is one of those trailers, and Marvel's really good about this. Still don't know a whole lot about the film, but people are dissecting it. They're breaking it down. They are looking at this damn thing. It's 2.5 minutes, and they are watching it tenth of a second by tenth of a second. They're watching it frame by frame, looking for clues and information. I'm just going to assume we've all seen it at least once this week. Mm-hmm.
I just watched it before I got on here because it popped up on my feed again. I was like, why the hell not?
So how many times have you seen it this week, Jerry?
There's not enough fingers and toes to count it.
Okay. Trey, what about you?
4 or 5 times.
Surprisingly, I'm right there with you. I will say one of my favorite jokes that came out of the first day of trailer viewing for Avengers Doomsday is when someone pointed out and made the joke when Thor holds out the hammer to see if Steve Rogers is actually Steve Rogers. They said, you know, the MCU is really grounded when Thor is demanding 2-factor authentication. So I know it's a trailer, and again, they're all about hope, and it may not ever stick the landing, but what did you think of the trailer? Jerry, since we saved this topic to make sure you were in here, you may begin.
Oh, full chub.
Full chub?
Absolutely.
Were you wielding your tiny Mjolnir and hoping Captain America would grab it?
He's aged very well. Man, I've been watching all the little release things that they've been doing and all of the pirated footage from all the other things and just kind of putting all that together. And then you see this trailer and it's like, you know, it's like you were saying earlier, you hope they haven't screwed it up, and it really doesn't look like they have. But also I hope it's not just because of the density of everything that's going on. You know, like when you actually sit down and watch it all together, you know, is the story going to be cohesive of all that? Because you've got so many of the original folks, you've got all the new guys that are coming in. There's so much going on. Is it going to be too much going on? You know, those are really the only questions I have. They have no reason why they should F this thing up.
Which gives me the reason to believe that it's really possible that they will. However, I feel like, I hope, and I do feel like they have watched and they have learned and they have taken all the criticism and feedback that they've received from everybody over the last few years, and they've shown the ability to pivot. that's why we don't have the Kang situation, because of the Ant-Man movie and Quantumania that flopped hard, plus Jonathan Majors, who had his own issues.
That was a Jonathan Majors issue, not a Kang.
Well, but trust me, had that Ant-Man movie where he was introduced as the big villain landed and done really well, I think Marvel might have absorbed that, or at least strongly considered it, but it didn't. So I think they were like, you know what? Let's move away from this.
But see, they didn't have to do that. That's the whole thing about the multiverse, is that, I mean, yes, I understand he's a Nexus beings, and the whole thing about if you look the same in all of the various universes, you know, that's a Nexus being thing. But just find somebody that kind of looks like him, have some other folks. You could have anybody play Kang.
CGI.
And I that too. And I think because of the Jonathan Majors thing, they could have recast that. And just like they did with Rhodey in Iron Man to Iron Man 2, and you go from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle. Marvel's not above switching out a character here, and they could have done that with Jonathan Majors, and I think they might have if that Ant-Man movie had been better received, but it wasn't. So they pivoted and said, we're going to go to this Doomsday thing, and I think ultimately it worked out because they're generating way more buzz and interest with the Doomsday thing than they would have with the Kang situation.
I disagree with your premise there. Doomsday was going to go forward whether or not Ant-Man was a success or flopped. I mean, this is part of their timeline that was released years and years ago.
But part of that timeline that was released involved the Kang, like the Avengers, the Kang dynasty. Like there was a whole Avengers movie and a couple projects that they scrapped because the Kang situation and the Jonathan Majors thing and the Ant-Man movie flopping. But because those things happened, they basically pulled those out and moved Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars up.
The Kang timeline was going to be the multiversal part of the timeline was going to be necessary to get Dr. Doom in here anyway. Yeah. So because of that, they could cut it off and stitch it together, and it's not such a big deal.
And to sort of fix that, that's the other reason why they're re-releasing Avengers Endgame with a little bit of additional footage to then make it to where you can go from Endgame to Doomsday, and it'll all make sense.
They're re-releasing Endgame as a cash grab.
and additional footage.
Yes.
Oh no, it's absolutely a cash grab. There's no doubt about that. Reason
90
number
seconds
one,
of additional footage.
But
in a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah, but
it'll be like one more cutscene.
They did a lot of things, and I think Ant-Man movie was probably the biggest flop since Endgame.
Since Endgame, maybe I haven't seen all the box office numbers.
Marvel, or what, Mrs. Marvel, or whatever the hell that was.
The Marvels.
The Marvels. That was probably the biggest.
The Marvels. Flop. That was disappointing.
To me, there was a trifecta post Endgame of 3 movie flops. I didn't see the box office numbers on this, but for me personally, the 3 flops were Ant-Man and Quantumania, the Marvels, and my brain just took a huge Cyclospora dump. I'll think of it in a second.
The one where the Earth is an egg.
Fantastic Four would be my.
See, and this is part of the problem is you can just rattle off a handful of the I remember Love and Thunder, Thor, Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah, Love and Thunder. I forgot about that one.
I like
that.
Love and Thunder.
That to me was one of the biggest disappointments. I thought they let Taika Waititi have too much freedom.
Yes.
There were moments I thought were really good, and then some stuff I thought was really like over the top silly. Of all the projects, that was the one I was probably most looking forward to, therefore most disappointed in.
See, the Thor movies to me have been hit or miss, and Love and Thunder fell right into that. It was campy, but I thought it was funny. Fat
Thor?
No, Fat Russell, who played Zeus?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, yeah.
That made me laugh.
Oh, it was, yeah. Oh, there's funny stuff in there. Don't get me wrong. But I think
I don't think they were ever going to. I mean, the Spider-Man movie, we knew those have, for the most part, always been solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think they were. I don't think they are going to stick the Avengers name on anything that's going to be a flop. That's their cash cow.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also read where they have gone ahead and scrapped any future Fantastic Four movies, and I'm thrilled with that because I thought it just sucked.
To
Yeah,
me,
I like that.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for a movie at the theater, but it didn't wow me.
I don't know how they have just flubbed that portion of Marvel's, the Fantastic Four movies. Although I thought the first one was fine, but in general,
Which first one? Like when Chris Evans was Torch and you had
Yes.
Jessica Alba. Yeah, I thought that was fine too. The weird thing is I never felt a huge pull towards the Fantastic Four characters. I mean, I liked the Thing. Torch was cool because he could fly around and he's on fire. But I was never like, woo, the Fantastic Four. Yeah.
that was a cartoon I kind of grew up with.
Yeah.
Of all the Marvel stuff, that was in my wheelhouse. And they have flubbed that part of the franchise over and over and over again.
Which is kind of mind-boggling when you think about it, because it's one of the greatest villains in comic book lore. I don't care whether you're DC, whether you're Marvel or graphic novel world off on some other thing. Doom is one of the ultimate baddies that, humans have created with just fantasy.
I thought you were talking about the other big bad that they introduced in the Fantastic, that's the Herald, the big planet eater guy. His name just leaked out of my ear.
Oh, Colossus or whatever. Or the big dude that they fought in the movie.
Yes.
The big dude. I got.
Yes. I just had it, and then I tried.
I've seen a lot of things recently. I saw the Odyssey this week, so I got a lot of Greek names in my head going as well. I can't keep keep track of all the other names.
Put a feather in that because I'm curious about what your thoughts are on that one.
So anyway, Avengers Doomsday. It looks really good. It's been interesting with some of the dissecting people have done. So the fan theory is that Dr. Doom may not necessarily present himself as a villain in this film. So I think there's going to be like two of them, right? He's going to come in saying, look, there's a big bad situation happening. We have to figure out a way to fix it. And that's supposedly 3 different universes heading for an incursion, and they're all going to collide. So you have the universe that our Fantastic Four people are from, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we saw that at the end of Thunderbolts. And then you have our main timeline that we're all used to. That's the Earth 616. So that's our universe.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Fantastic Four.
That's the Avenger universe also.
Yeah, the Avenger universe is 616. And then the X-Men universe is the third. And that's how we get all these things together. And
that's 10,055.
Okay.
And that's, I've read the same thing where they postulate that Doom befriends all of them, and that he's actually trying to get them to destroy their universes, but he's trying to get them to work together. But then they're and puts them against each other, fighting, blah blah blah.
Right, Battle World.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the Battle World thing. I'm unfamiliar with it. I've heard it kicked around online before because, again, I'm not the comic book guy. I'm the movie guy. Jerry, you're all things Marvel, and Trey's like me. He's more of the the TV shows and the movies and stuff. So I've heard that name thrown around, and a lot of the clues people that have broken down the trailer have said, "Oh, this is a Battle World thing," and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, cool. I just want it to be good.
I find the nerddom of the breaking down the trailer has been absolutely just fantastic to watch, because I mean, I admire the people that really know the comic books. X-Men were really the only comic book I even was vaguely familiar with in this world. But I mean, I think I saw one where they said, "Oh no, that's not Steve Rogers. That's the Hydra Steve Rogers."
That's not Captain America. It's Captain Hydra.
Yeah.
No, he's worthy. So it can't be that.
That's right.
And then everyone is saying that there's someone behind Steve Rogers, and that's got to be Loki. And that's why Thor looks so stunned. It's his brother and his friend that he thought he lost both.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's like, man, Tom Hiddleston has got to be thinking, is like, how many times am I going to play the same character? This is amazing. He's got like 3 different versions of Loki he has to play. Like, you talk about the timeline branches, and there's really at one point there's like 3 Lokis that he's playing from 3 different timelines.
He played probably half a dozen in the series alone.
I'm sure he's contemplating this all the way to the bank.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Except he's not driving. He has someone doing that for him.
Loki's been good to him in every timeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe it is no coincidence that Loki's color is green.
Green and gold, baby.
It is the color of money. So yeah, the Avengers Doomsday trailer drops, and then half the world stopped for a day, couple days.
Are y'all both on? And everything I've read, and Jerry, you'd be the person to really know this. Do we all believe that the timeline incursion it goes back to Steve Rogers staying in that one timeline, and that's where all this stems from?
No. This stems from a combination of when the Avengers went back in time to get the Infinity Stones, brought them forward after they had already been defeated by Thanos. And then the other one is the reason why it was so thin in Spider-Man in the last Spider-Man movie was because of that. Yeah. And that's what actually cracked the shell and started the whole thing. So it's a combination of those 2 things.
So you don't think it could be Steve Rogers staying in that one timeline that he shouldn't have?
I mean, it didn't help, but I don't think I don't believe it was the cause of it. If that was the only thing that had happened, and Peter
saying only, I've just read that that's one of the main things that has caused the timelines to.
There's really no one main thing. It's just a combination of all of it.
It's basically, we're all just getting schooled in physics, where it's like, okay, this is the reason why you're not supposed to mess with time and space and stuff, because what was it they even said in Avengers Endgame right before Thanos shows up? It's like, well, when you mess with time messes back, and that's what's happening. They undid the blip by going back and getting the stones, and there are consequences to it, and the other decisions underneath that, like Steve staying with Peggy in the past and whatever else that happened, and Spider-Man, telling Doctor Strange, hey, make everyone forget about me. And so those things, I think, all add together, and that gets us to where we are. And then through all of that, we get Robert Downey Jr. back in there, not as Iron Man, but instead as Victor Von Doom.
Yes.
Now, Jerry, I think Dan and I had this conversation off the air, but what was your thoughts on Downey's accent in the trailer?
Holy crap, that was Downey
doing the voiceover?
We think so, yes.
Do I need to play a portion of it?
That's, you know what? That accent was atrocious, whoever the hell it was.
Thank you.
Really?
That was worse than when Scarlett Johansson started with her Russian accent and had to move out of it.
Oh, that was far worse than that.
Well, okay, now, while we're talking about Marvel accents here, okay, we could do a quick ranking. RDJ's Victor Von Doom is A. Scarlett Johansson's Russian accent is B. C is Elizabeth Olsen's accent as the Scarlet Witch. And I'm not going to pick on her brother, the guy that played her brother. I'm brain farting on his name. The guy that's married to the 50 Shades of Grey, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm not going to pick on Aaron Taylor Johnson because that dude died in one movie, so whatever. But then she changed her accent within the next movie and a half. She was like normal.
Yeah.
So
somebody leaned in and was like,
those,
just stop.
That was all at least explainable, because she had gone from, was it Romania, and then she's now hanging out with English people. So
you don't lose your accent in a film and a half.
Maybe she studied it, trying to fit in.
There's time in between there.
Okay, so if you have to rank the 3 accents, RDJ as Victor Von Doom, Scarlett Johansson is Russian, or Elizabeth Olsen's accent from Age of Ultron. Which was the best? Which was the worst?
From worst to best, ACB.
All right, so Robert Downey Jr. bad, Scarlett Johansson least bad, and in the middle, Elizabeth Olsen.
I told you, I thought Robert Downey Jr.'s accent in the if that is him in the trailer, that it sounds like the evil guy from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Boris.
Yeah.
He
is Musa.
All right, I have to compare this here. Let me see. All right, here's the trailer. Xavier's school.
Something's coming.
Yeah, listen to the voice.
Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
See, there was some Scottish shit. There a brogue and then back.
No, I'm sorry. We missed out one of the really bad accents, and this is what it reminds me of, is Iron Man 2. What's his name's accent?
Mickey Rourke as
Mickey Rourke.
Whiplash.
That is the level of that accent.
I want my bird. Give me my bird. Drone is better. Give me that $1 million. I could have done that terrible accent. To me, Robert, if this is Robert Downey Jr., and I think it is, it's the Latvian accent that he's doing. It sounds to me like he listened to Arnold Schwarzenegger hypnosis tapes.
It's not even. No.
It really does. It really sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger talking.
It moves in and out to, like he said a word in there that utterly switched over to brogue. Like you could isolate those two words and you think you were listening to a Scotsman, and then it's so inconsistent. It sounds like it's hard.
I am hoping that he is masking his true voice because they'll realize that it's Tony Stark. That's my hope. I pray that this is not what we have to listen to for the entire Doomsday movie.
I want it to be when he starts talking in the Dooms, like he comes out, he reveals himself. It's the first time we see Victor Von Doom. I want him to sound like Nathan Lane at a drag brunch. Hey. That would be the shock of the century.
Chew more gum.
Back inside the Treehouse now. This segment of the show is brought to you by Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. To get your free roof inspection, which, by the way, if you happen to live in one of these Marvel universes, you need one because you probably got some serious damage from the Avengers doing battle over your house. Or just from North Texas weather, which that'll do it too. 833-COOK-DFW is the phone number to get that free roof inspection. They'll also take a look around the entire property, let you know of any issues, and they'll give you the information. If you want to do something about it, completely up to you. No pressure, but outstanding service. In fact, for those that don't know, they actually just received a platinum preferred contractor rating from Owens Corning. Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration just received the platinum preferred contractor rating from Owens Corning, which is a big deal because Owens Corning, like even Daniel Cook, we posted this on their social the other day. It's not about just throwing up roofs on people's houses, then the Peak Panther gives you a thumbs up. It's actually the Owens Corning people follow up with their preferred contractors, follow up with their customers to see, did they do the job properly? Everything installed? Was it done in a timely manner? Was it all done the right way? And they have to hit some other parameters. And if they do that for a long enough time, they are given platinum status. Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration got that recently. So you want a great roofer, 833-COOK-DFW is the phone number. All right, back inside the Treehouse. Dan, Trey, Jerry. Usually this is the part where we would do birthdays. I'll kind of put that on the shelf for a moment because we're kind of caught up in Avengers Doomsday stuff. And Trey, you asked a really good question during that break.
What are the essential viewing? What are the essential movies you need to watch to get ready for Doomsday? Obviously, Endgame.
Right. If it were me, I would do a little mini marathon. Watch all of the Avenger movies, the first 4. Loki seasons 1 and 2. Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. Fantastic Four, so you know who they are.
That was another stinker.
Yeah, that one was meh.
Oh, Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those. It had some really great moments, especially when they go to the other universe and you've got John Krasinski as, Stretch from Fantastic Four. You get
that's
Professor X
cast.
Yeah. And then you get that flip around stuff, and then she comes in and kills her. That whole scene was phenomenal, but the whole movie felt rushed.
Also, watch Wolverine and Deadpool and the original X-Men series, just so you understand who you're looking at. I mean, you can watch Days of Future Past too. I don't know if any of them are actually going to be involved in it. I think it's just the original X-Men cast.
Which one is the horrible one of the X-Men?
A lot of the origin movies.
What's the one where it's like a pyramid? It's awful. The rest of them I like, but there's one that is just awful. I think it was the last one they did.
Oh, you're talking about Apocalypse, X-Men
Yes.
Apocalypse.
Oh,
that was just atrocious.
Yeah. I think that was one where Olivia Munn, who was in that, Jerry, what was her character's name? I
Mystique.
forget. No, not Mystique. She Olivia Munn was the one that had the double katana swords and thigh highs.
Yes. Let me look
Her.
it up real quick. Yeah.
Anyway, see what I mean? There's so many character names. She even came out and said that Bryan Singer, the director of X-Men Apocalypse, she came out and said later on, she was like, that dude totally mailed it in. He was barely paying attention on set, and he was just bleh.
Psylocke,
thank you. Okay. I did a quick look as well. I saw someone post, I think it was on Threads, hey, what should I watch in preparation for Doomsday? And a comic book nerd got in the comments and was actually very nice about it, which everyone said, thank you for not being a comic book meanie and being nice about it and just being like, yeah, here's your explanation. Here's what you need to know. They said the same thing you did, Jerry. Loki seasons 1 and 2, which honestly, that was one of those things. When season 1 came out, I watched it as it came out. My expectations were pretty low, but they didn't have anything else out at the time. I needed something to watch at the gym. I loved those. I loved those. I loved that show. Those 2 seasons of Loki, I thought were so great. I'll forever love the day when we got alligator Loki. That was what I was just like, oh, yeah. So yeah, Loki 1 and 2, Fantastic Four. You kind of have to know for that universe. The Doctor Strange thing, Deadpool and Wolverine was also mentioned in one of the lists that I saw just now, and what the guy said on Threads. Infinity War, if you need a refresher, and then obviously the new Endgame. Most of that stuff should get you out. Now, also you can go and watch Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi's a character in this. Like in the trailer, in the trailer, he's fighting Gambit, and Gambit was introduced through Deadpool and Wolverine.
And I'm sure the new No Way Home Spider-Man movie is going to be required as well.
Yeah,
Right.
so it was interesting watching this trailer for Doomsday and seeing the people that were in it. But what's just as interesting are the people you don't see in it. Like, where is Spider-Man in this one? What about, is Frank Castle's Punisher going to be in there at all? Even though it doesn't seem like he would, because it'd be like, I think he'd be like just blinked out of existence.
Right. Where's the Hulk?
But where's the Hulk? He's in the new Spider-Man movie, but we don't see him in this trailer. So there's lots of characters that you don't see in the Doomsday trailer, but that doesn't mean they ain't in it.
Ruffalo's name was on one of the chairs in that long thing there, so he's got to be in it somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think we all, you know how you play 6 Degrees at Kevin Bacon with movies and actors? The Marvel Cinematic Universe has made that game so easy.
Well, they're also very good at, you think they're giving you a lot, but they always keep something hidden. And there'll be another trailer that they'll, let out a little bit more. And I would be willing to bet there's going to be some surprise appearances that you didn't expect. Scarlet Witch being one of them. I'll be very curious if because they said they weren't going to resurrect her, but then I have read that, they will.
I think they will. And that's, you bring that up, her along with Doctor Strange. I don't remember seeing either of them in the trailer unless they were somehow fuzzy in a background or something. So yeah, I mean, look, they called it the first trailer, and in essence, this to me was just it's a teaser trailer, really. I mean, there's clues and stuff in there, but I mean, it's sort of like a setup trailer for another trailer that is going to come.
Right.
I sure am excited. If I may quote one of my favorite movie characters of all time, Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation, I'm excited about it too, Clark.
One quick little thing before we move on that I would like to point out.
Please.
You can play 6 Degrees from Jerry Caldwell with the Marvel Universe.
Okay. Tell us how.
In Quantumania, there was a character named Quaz. He was the freedom fighter. He was played by a gentleman named William Jackson Harper. William Jackson Harper used to work at the Half Price Books on Northwest Highway with one Jerry Caldwell. I have pictures of him in my backyard on my 30th birthday.
That has got to be the least cool game of 6 degrees of separation I have ever experienced.
It used to take a lot more steps to get me there, but I've got that one now.
Especially with you flipping your hair while you're doing it.
Knowing that a bridge from the Treehouse Show into the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the Half Price Books on Northwest Highway and a flip of your golden locks makes me want to leave. I prefer my version of the events, which would go like this. We inside the Treehouse are good friends with Tone Bell, who is an actual actor in Hollywood, who's been in other projects with a number of these other characters and these other actors, one of which is Jessica Alba, who was the original Sue Storm in the MCU. And if I had more time to think about it, I'm sure I could pick through a number of other people he has worked with to get us into the MCU in a much cooler fashion.
Don't you have to do Jessica Alba to Chris Evans, and then there.
Right there. But I'm willing to bet, because he's done enough with so many people, if I was to go through sort of his filmography, I bet I could find someone he's been in something with that is probably also in the MCU.
Okay.
No offense, Jerry. I love Half Price Books.
No. You, Jerry, that full offense.
It is cool, though, that is your journey to the MCU. I hope someday that you get to play some sort of like a stunt double for Thor's third cousin.
Sign me up. I'm here.
Or maybe like the little Jello guy from Quantumania. Which I actually thought, I didn't hate that movie. I just take
Quantumania?
Yeah.
Wait, which the Ant-Man or?
Yeah, the Ant-Man.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. It was about what I expected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but exactly.
And there's one thing I have to cut them a little slack is you had COVID in between all of that, which it screwed up production on everything. And some things got rushed and just weren't the quality you would have expected.
Secret Wars. Cough.
My brain doesn't have room to start analyzing anything with that. All right. Today is Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. Let's celebrate today with some birthdays. Starting with Daniel Radcliffe, the star of his own movie franchise universe, forever known as Harry Potter. He is 37 today. So this is your moment of the week to feel really effing old. Harry Potter is 37 today. Ugh. Which, by the way, he was a highlight to me in, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock, where She's like an author. They have to go and do some adventure thing, and Daniel Radcliffe plays the bad guy. He was really good in that. It's fun. Woody Harrelson is 65 today. Woody from Cheers is 65. Going back, as I've done, and rewatching Cheers, seeing all the talented cast members on that show, I never would have thought that Woody would have been one of the breakout stars from it. It just seemed like such a one-note, dumb character from Indiana, but by God, he's the one that arguably blew up the most.
I was about to say, I don't even think you can argue that he was the biggest star come out of that.
I mean, for a very short period of time, Kirstie Alley was pretty big for a few minutes. With Look Who's Talking 1 and 2.
I mean, Ted Danson never. I mean, it took him years to have something else.
He had 3 Men and a Baby, and that's really.
But I think that was wasn't that during Cheers?
I think that was during Cheers. Yeah. So you're right, actually. Of all those talented people on that cast, I think it really was Woody Harrelson's one that came out most ahead.
Ted Danson also was in The Good Place.
Oh, which is a fantastic show.
Starring next to William Jackson Harper as Chidi.
Who you worked with at Half Price Books.
And
I know, I take it back. That is now my favorite connection for the Treehouse to Hollywood is through you, Jerry, and Half Price Books.
And after The Good Place, he's done another series with Mike Schur on Netflix, and I'm drawing a blank on the name, but it's pretty good.
And he was on CSI for a while.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but he had that gap in there. You're right. I mean, as far as everyone, but as far as everyone, it really was Woody Harrelson is the one that's had the biggest career out of everyone coming out of the regular cast on Cheers. So happy birthday to him. This is a big birthday. You talk about pop culture, 90s references. There are not many bigger names than Monica Lewinsky, and she is 53 today. I mean, that's a name where you say it, you know exactly what happened. You know what time. You kind of know where you were when all that was going down. And yeah, she's 53 today.
The blue dress.
And that blue dress.
And what I marvel about is, and at the time that was such a big deal. And now looking back, you're like, man, wouldn't that be nice if that was our only problem?
Yes, it really would be.
I mean, that's how those days.
That's how good we had it in the 90s. And honestly, that's also how good we had it on Saturday Night Live when they were making fun of it, because when they started making fun of the whole Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton, White House situation, that's what gave us John Goodman as Linda Tripp.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. Oh, that was so good.
Talking about, well, do you have any evidence of this, Miss Tripp? I have a dress. Covered in evidence. I'm sorry. Just whenever this is what happens, in my brain, you get that association. And when I think of Monica Lewinsky, I think of Saturday Night Live, and I think of John Goodman as Linda Tripp.
And one of the all-time great presidential photos, is the Clintons getting out of Marine One, and it's Hillary and Chelsea and the dog, and Bill Clinton is behind them because no one will talk to him.
Even the dog.
Even the dog is like, man, you're screwed.
I bet that was an uncomfortable chopper ride. Oh, God. All right. Other birthdays today. Kathryn Hahn is 53. She is an Emmy-nominated actress known for WandaVision, which, by the way, we're talking a lot about Marvel stuff on here, and I think it's worthy. She was also in Agatha All Along. Her character was so good. She did such a great job in WandaVision that they're like, we need a spinoff. I have not yet seen Agatha All Along, but I want to.
It's good.
Jerry, is it really good? Okay.
It does a big pivot in the middle of the season, and they did it really well. It's pretty good.
Kathryn Hahn, I think, is one of my I hadn't really thought about it till right now. I think she's one of my underrated best actresses. She can do damn near anything.
Yeah, yeah.
In Bad Moms 1 and 2, I think she's hysterical.
Mhm.
She was great in WandaVision, and WandaVision was one of those off projects that Marvel did. I have not gone back to rewatch it, but as I was watching it and thinking back on it, I actually kind of loved it. I think it was such a different, smart, cool thing, like dealing with her grief, and she's going through these different eras as if they're a television show. That to me was a fun swing. That was Marvel taking a chance, and I'm sure not everyone loved it, but I think it landed.
I do too. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I thought it got a little campy towards the end, but all in all, thought it was good, and I'd watch it again. If you said, "Hey, there's some nuggets in there you really have to see for Doomsday,"
Oh yeah,
I'd go back and watch it.
Where
Yeah,
is
that's right,
White
because,
Vision? Where is he? Where is White Vision?
Are we
Where
allowed
is
to
he?
call it that?
That's the MCU's name for him.
I thought it was just Vision.
Well, at the end of WandaVision, it's
Oh, that's right. Okay.
it's albino vision.
Albino Vision.
Is he going to be pink eye vision? That would be creepy. Yeah. But the other part of WandaVision that was cool was, you get her brother that had died reintroduced to her in that show, right? But it wasn't the Aaron Taylor Johnson speedster that was her brother from Ultron, but it was the X-Men Days of Future Past speedster, Evan Peters, as her brother. So that was when I think we had our first X-Men and scissoring happening.
And they have not confirmed that, but they also have not denied it either. So that's possible.
Philip Seymour Hoffman would have been 59 today. That is a guy that is again, you talk about phenomenal actors. I loved him. I thought he was so good. One of my favorite roles of his, and I think it might have been one of his first film roles, was as Dusty in the first Twister movie.
Yes, love that.
Slash is 61 today. Guitarist from GM.
It's one of the few times I'll say this. He's only 61.
I had the same thought, brother.
I'm right there with you. I thought he was way older.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Karl Malone, 63, the mailman. One of the guys that really, 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 he and John Stockton, you talk about playing in the wrong era. Those two guys, those Utah Jazz teams deserved a title, but they just couldn't get it there. And, but I mean, the Bulls and Michael Jordan were in their way for some of that. So,
And the Pistons. But yeah, that's.
And the Pistons, yeah. And ultimately, they didn't win, not because they weren't great. They were just outgunned. I mean, the Utah Jazz had Karl Malone and John Stockton. The Bulls had Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
Yep.
And like 4 other people. And then the Pistons were just stacked top to bottom.
Did Malone play for the Knicks before or after he was in?
I honestly don't recall him playing for another team.
I thought he played for the Knicks. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it's stop. I mean, they both were great players, but just you happen to run across a couple players that were way better.
That's pretty much it. And but this one's an interesting, just because we mentioned it somewhat earlier with old-timey things. This is a birthday deep cut. Julius Caesar would have been 2,126 today, but he got stabbed a hell of a lot of times at work one day. This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Treehouse Plus, Super Plus, and Ultimate Treehouse. If you want more Treehouse in your life, that includes bonus content, subscriber-only episodes. Like after we're done recording this last free episode of the week inside the Treehouse, we're going to go into Treehouse Super Plus and do another one there. Go to patreon.com/treehouseonair, patreon.com/treehouseonair, and subscribe to get more Treehouse today.
All right.
All right.
Hang on, before we go, because we'll forget about it. You said you saw the Odyssey.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Many thoughts.
Okay, I have heard what I have read, and I have from people is visually stunning, epic.
Yes.
But story was crappy.
How can the story be crappy? It's Homer.
They said a lot of people question whether Christopher Nolan even read it.
So here was my takeaway, and this was my wife's take as well. It was interesting because usually what happens is we'll go see a movie, especially if it's a big movie. We'll go see a movie, we leave the theater, go to the bathroom, and then maybe go somewhere, get a drink or a snack, and then we'll talk about what we saw. If it was a big movie, a big enough movie to do it. This is one of those movies where we did that. My wife and I had the same take, which was really, really good, but it didn't wow us. Now, many people that have seen the Odyssey left the theater wowed. I have seen comments and reviews. I've heard some people say, "Oh my God, that's the best movie I've ever seen." So we saw it on Sunday afternoon, and before we went into the theater, on Rotten Tomatoes, it was 95 and 97. I don't know if I've ever seen a movie with those high numbers after it's been released. So I think to a certain degree, we may have had some really high expectations based on a lot of the stuff we saw before seeing the movie. That is a possibility. That being said, it is definitely a visually stunning movie. I think a lot of times in Hollywood, the word epic gets thrown around too much. This is a Hollywood epic, but I still left a little underwhelmed. It was great. And this is an interesting, so separate from my wife, my overall takeaway was it is a phenomenal film, but I was a little underwhelmed, if that makes sense, because I can see a movie and be like, yeah, I can see why this is magnificent. But there were a few things where I was like, why?
Where do you think it deflated? Where?
So a couple things. I still don't know why it is Telemachus, Tom Holland's character, why is he calling the dad he's never met dad? It sticks out like a weird hangnail. Why is he calling his mom mom? Why is he calling his dad dad? Like, and to me, in a formal type of time, things are long ago, it would have sounded more natural if he's like, I don't know my father, as opposed to, I don't know my dad. That just seems weird to me. But I think one of the biggest things was there's not a lot of logic in the film. And some of this is going to go back to Homer, the source material. So after they leave Troy and they get on their ships to go home, instead of going home the known way, they're like, you know what? Let's go this other direction, away from everybody else. We'll just pop onto land and provision as we go. And then after the second time you do that, where you pop onto land and some really bad shit happens, maybe stop doing that. But
right.
They keep doing it. It's I think part of it is it's sort of a story of a number of follies in a row where I'm just kind of like, oh, come on. Now, so that's where I didn't love it.
Well, one of the things, I mean, one person said it and it sounded right on from all the other reviews I've read, is Christopher Nolan, like I said, it's an epic visual movie, but he fell so in love with that part of it that he did not focus as much on script and continuity as he could have. And there are some gaps in there that make it not a great movie overall, is what
yeah.
So, okay.
Jerry, have you seen it?
I have not.
Yeah. So where we are right now, we're in Brighton, Michigan. The closest IMAX theater is in Ann Arbor. That's like 30, 40 minutes away. So we just elected to see it on a normal theater. I mean, it's still great sound and stuff, but so we didn't see the IMAX version. So if you've seen a lot of the Odyssey content online like we have, you can see a very clear visual difference in the IMAX version versus regular 35 millimeter. And because we've ingested a lot of this Odyssey content, this is the first movie that's ever been shot and from beginning to end in its entirety on IMAX film. And that's a huge process. And it's really interesting how they did that. And Trey, kind of like what you were saying, maybe there was some on Christopher Nolan's part, so obsessed with the mechanics and the visuals of the film that some of the story and the dialogue to me felt a little,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's absolutely worth it to go see it though. And it's, I mean, I think it made all of its money back in one weekend. So, and the other thing I'll throw in is this: there's a reason why people don't typically do the Odyssey, because it's so long. There's so much in it. The fact that he was able to do it in just under 3 hours is somewhat of an accomplishment.
It's considered an epic. So
Right.
Yeah.
And it's also part 2.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, because it didn't even include the entirety of the Trojan War, because you get all these flashbacks and things that they're doing in the film. So technically, this film takes place over a 20-year period.
Yeah.
But I recommend going see it. Absolutely. Okay, let's jump into some birthdays, or not birthdays. You've already done plenty of birthdays. Let's jump into some stories that we did not get to this week. So we've had a jam-packed treehouse this week as far as all sorts of things to talk about and laugh about. There have been a handful of news stories, though, we have not had a chance to play with yet. So we're going to do that right now. Starting with the turf war in New Jersey. Oh, dear God. New Jersey lawmakers want to impose a restraining order on FIFA for selling its World Cup grass. FIFA is an organization that is never going to miss an opportunity to make a few bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes...
First of all, they don't make just a few bucks. They don't miss an opportunity to make millions.
This is true. And almost a literal last-ditch effort to make even more money on the World Cup, FIFA has been cutting sections of the turf in New Jersey where the final match was played and selling them online for $450 a pop. And because of that, the state of New Jersey is saying, that's our grass. And FIFA is saying, no, it's our grass.
You better read the contract. I promise you it's FIFA's grass. much like it, it's like when they covered up the names of stadiums, when AT&T Stadium became Dallas Stadium, there were some people who were like, well, how does AT&T, because this was already written in. If AT&T wanted to, they could have been a sponsor if they wanted to pay the billions or hundreds of millions of dollars, but they didn't. So
yep. And Trey, you're right. I believe there is kind of a smaller F in FIFA that stands for fine print.
Oh, I mean, listen, FIFA is known as the most corrupt organization there is. And I mean, look at the last World Cup was in Qatar. They literally lost over 5,000. We're talking about, because current slavery does still exist. And Qatar is a great example of it. There was over 5,000 people died in just building the facilities for that last one. But hats off to America, though. Record-setting World Cup. And most people really believe that for the first time ever, we will host it again in 2038, which no country has ever done because it was such a success.
Yeah, I'm really proud.
And this time,
good job, everybody.
Fuck Mexico and Canada. Keep it all in the United States. Because that's the thing people don't realize is, all these other places have to build stadiums.
The country's already big enough, man.
Well, but you think we didn't use a 20th of the stadiums that you could possibly use.
That's what I'm saying. Our country is already so big. We didn't need to go into the others.
Texas alone pretty much has enough stadiums to do the World Cup.
That's a great idea. I would love to see Spain and Senegal play a match at Permian Stadium.
Oh, screw Permian. But you have Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium. You have Kyle Field. You have Houston. Hell, you have the Waco, the Baylor Stadium. It's not Floyd Casey anymore.
Yeah. No, you're right. Texas could do the World Cup on its own.
Yeah. So, hopefully, and from everything I've read, most people said of the United States facilities, Dallas was the best one. So maybe next time we'll get the championship game.
That'd be sweet. So good job, America. And on a more local level, good job, Jerry Jones, and the voters of Arlington, which includes me from way back when I helped to approve that stadium. Yay, me, I helped.
Oh, and that, talk about it, everything done right. I mean, I think they're 5 years ahead on the bond repayment.
Mm-hmm.
And they said the U.S. got a surplus, or like 20 billion on the event. So yeah, good on everybody.
And we got some good advertising worldwide.
Oh, great
Mm-hmm.
advertising worldwide.
Yeah.
And soccer will be big again in America for a while, which is also a good thing. Okay, so we've heard stories recently about how Gen Z aren't the drinkers that we are, Gen X, boomers.
And for the record, someone has said, no, they really are. The person who's
Trey.
worked in bars said, no, that's really not true.
Because I keep seeing the same study boomerang around social media where it says Gen Z is falling far behind alcohol consumption compared to its previous generations like millennials, boomers, and Gen X. But like Trey is making the face right now, it's like, yeah, but I'm in bars quite a bit. They're still drinking.
Well, and I mean, millennials and Gen Xers quite the drinkers. So that's just, if they fall off a little bit, that doesn't mean they're not drinking a lot.
I know the millennials are drinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gen X is for sure. But now there's some new information coming out that it's actually the boomers, not Gen Z, that are the generation cutting back most on alcohol. New research overturns the assumption that abstinent younger drinkers are behind weak demand. They're saying it's 71% of boomers, those born between 1946 and 1964, consumed alcohol in the past 6 months, the lowest drinking rate of any generation, and down 2 percentage points from 3 years ago. By contrast, 74% of Gen Z who are at the legal drinking age reported drinking in the past 6 months, up from 66% 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Could this statistic be because the boomers are getting old? I mean,
the boomers are getting old, but the other thing that really people have not factored into all these drinking numbers that come out is COVID. Alcohol sales, although bars were closed, alcohol sales went through the roof during COVID.
mm-hmm.
And
I
so
drank a
they've
lot
now
during
started
COVID.
coming back down to a normal level. Bar sales in general have been really good. You can look at the numbers, and a lot of bars have had record years in the last year. So yeah, a lot of it is the boomers are getting older, and they're starting to figure out, they're heeding the warnings of, it doesn't help with aging. I mean, it really especially mentally, it's not good for you.
And I've always been of the mindset with Gen Z, quote, allegedly drinking less. It's like they'll catch up. Just let them come across. Like, I will say, I see more Gen Z people not drinking, and this is just anecdotally, just stuff I've seen. I do see on occasion a Gen Z person that's like, yeah, I don't drink. It's like, okay, cool. But I still see plenty of Gen Z people that still remind me of when I was that age. So I don't think that's, yeah.
I also think here's the more interesting thing that I'm sure someone will study. It will not surprise me one bit if they say the biggest leap in cannabis use is the boomers. Also, they're slowing down on drinking, but they're finding out.
Yes. Oh yes.
If you want to find if you want to find some common ground, if you want to see where the boomer Venn diagram intersects with the Gen Z, it's going to be over a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So while this study says it's boomers that are drinking less, don't tell that to an 82-year-old grandma who wants to have a law changed so she can keep having happy hour at her care home. Grandmother of 5, Anita Lebrun, has always loved a good glass of Pinot Grigio and her family's tradition of kicking off 5 p.m. happy hours at their lake house. And now she wants it to be law that she's allowed to do it. She couldn't believe it when she found out last year that her Minnesota assisted living facility was prohibited from serving drinks to residents because it didn't have a license. Already something of a social butterfly. She agreed to become the face and voice of a mission to change the law. After testifying twice before the state legislature, she shared a toast with Governor Tim Walz this week for a ceremonial signing of what's been nicknamed the Grandparents' Happy Hour Bill at the very facility she calls home. Don't ever let someone tell you you can't make change happen in your community.
It's because almost every state has this ban, and so many states in their next legislative session will see legislation come through about changing this law because, yeah, as the boomers are going to retirement centers, they're going to want to change that, or they're going to make new retirement facilities assisted living that aren't run by the state and play by their own rules.
Right.
Absolutely. Because here's what's going to...
It's the next business for the Indian reservations. Watch.
Oh. Kick-ass nursing homes?
Mm-hmm.
Sign me up, brother, because here's what I think is going to happen. You have boomers like this 82-year-old granny who's like, I want my happy hour at my nursing home. And so she gets the law changed. So some boomers are blazing a path on this. It's gonna turn into a wildfire when Gen X starts making that transition into some of these assisted living facilities, because we're all going to change the template. We've laughed about this over the recent years about what Gen X's nursing homes are going to look like. I fully expect them to have video game rooms and
hell yes,
a bar and all these types of things. These are things we don't just want, we will damn demand it. Because at that point, man, put me in the home, man. Oh, this sounds great. It sounds like going back to college. And I never had the dorm experience in college, man. Give it to me when I'm pissing myself.
They got what, like 12, 15 years before that transition starts?
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
So let them start getting these laws changed. So when it comes time for us to wheel ourselves into the facility, we're not going to be so torn up about it. We're going to be like, yeah, let's go.
Playing Mario, smoking a blunt, got your glass of wine.
And Jerry, we are technically 4 years away from the first Gen Xers being 65. So it's not a decade away. It's more 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Ouch.
All right. The body wash heist for the century. I know the century is early, but I feel confident in saying I don't think we're going to hear a story quite like this one until 22.
This story was so gross. I didn't even send it to you. Daniel, do we lose you? All right, hang on.
All right, Trey, say that again. My internet
Yeah, this story was so gross. I saw it and I didn't even send it to you because I was like, ew, I don't want to even think about this again.
Do we need to catch Jerry up just a little bit?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so I'll try to tell this briefly. Earlier this week, Jerry, we read a story about a young lady who was being romantic with her fella, and her fella goes downstairs and he comes back up and says, "Ooh, you've got cheese down there."
Oh.
And she had to edit her post to say, "Sorry, I didn't mean cheese. I meant discharge." She said English was not her first language. I'm going to tell you this right now. If I ever go to another country, I am not going to mess up discharge with a food item. She did.
I mean, I understood what cheese meant in that particular instance. I understand fully.
Now, we were big on mentioning, while discussing that story earlier this week, that 9 times out of 10, you eat cheese. this is that one time that you don't.
That's right.
So anyway, instead, now we get a story out of Lakeland, I believe, Lakeland, Florida. Yeah. So on the heels of the girl whose boyfriend told her, "You've got cheese down there," we have a bizarre body wash heist at a Walgreens in Lakeland, Florida. Hang on one second. A 47-year-old man has been arrested yet again after a body wash heist was reported late last month. That's to the Polk County Sheriff's Office in the illustrious state of Florida. In a release, deputies said the incident happened on June 29th at a Walgreens store along Lakeland Highlands Road. Upon arrival, deputies learned that 3 suspects had entered the Walgreens together, with one distracting the store clerk and the other 2 filled bags with several containers of body wash. Of all the things at a Walgreens you can take, body wash is an interesting choice.
Maybe one of the few left that's not behind locked cabinets.
They are at mine.
Are they the body washes?
Yeah.
Jesus. Just turn all the stores into just one big lockbox.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, just one big one. Like, just like pay a $5 cover to get in, and then you can actually just go in and shop for stuff.
Just turn it into a vending machine.
Yeah, basically. Afterward, the trio left the store together without paying for the stolen items, which were valued at nearly $650. That's a lot of body wash. Upon review of the surveillance footage, investigators said they recognized one of the female suspects. So you have 3 suspects in here looking like ladies, but not so much. They recognized one of these female suspects as 47-year-old Gerald Cobbs. They recognized him due to his extensive history of previous arrests. The release says Gerald is known to dress as a female. They say Cobbs here, but it's just funnier to say Gerald. Gerald is known to dress as a female. Further investigation revealed that Gerald had recently been arrested by the Lakeland Police Department on an active warrant and was already being held in the county jail. How convenient is that? You go and look at the surveillance footage of these 3 dude ladies stealing body wash at Walgreens, and one of them's already in the clinker.
They said, "Can I ask you a question?"
Yet another week won by Trey. That's
yes. Treehouse salute to Trey on an excellent week of podcasting. Good job, buddy. For those that are Treehouse Super Plus and Ultimate Treehouse subscribers, we're going to go on to patreon.com/Treehouse on air and do our Super Plus episode. If you're not, you can join that today. And if not, have a great have a great rest of your weekend. And we'll see you next week inside the Treehouse.